Good morning, guys. Hope you're all well. So this morning, then, let's have a look. First things first. Just have a quick look at the news events this morning and today. Well, we should just uh, back run over the employment data. It came out there yesterday. Average earnings came out slightly better than expected. Remember, though, these are a week delayed, but they're closer than we've seen of late. It's not like a month delayed, just a week delayed now, or 5 days. The employment change figures were positive, and the unemployment figure fell to 4.3. But well, we'll see how that carries on. People may watch the unemployment claims today a little bit more, bearing in mind what we've seen here. These are up to date, so we'll see if that affects the market. The key thing really then is tomorrow's data, is that inflation. So tomorrow could be a choppy old 130, because we'll be looking to see if there's a bit of a continuation of inflation. If the inflation's pushing upwards, it might put a brake on the idea of the dollar weakening further. Right, now this morning then we've seen GDP data coming out for the UK. This is coming out the quarterly it's the quarterly figure I wanted. There we are. The quarterly figure, which is the key figure, has actually come out less than expected at 0.1 versus 0.2. The key thing here is, if you look at the data behind it, this complete scandalous government that's currently running the shop, you wouldn't leave them in charge of your pocket money. Anyway, the numbers here say it all. Look, all the red, basically. Forget about the estimates, etc., but just look at the actual numbers coming through here. Business investment, very key to driving future data. Minus 2.7%. Businesses are just not sure at the moment, and they're cutting back. They're not putting their money in there. So not good figures again for Rachel from accounts. Anyway, moving on. Let's look at the technicals. Oh, sorry, I should have just said the yeah, it's just the unemployment rate later. Unemployment claims later. We should be being a bit aware of, at least. In normal weeks, they don't normally make a lot of difference, but when they come near non-farm payrolls, they may have a little bit more impact. Anyway, this euro, yesterday with that data, we saw that the euro sold. It never did break where I was looking for it to break and continue, so that was fine. Not involved in that at all. Did get sold off here, and it's gone a little bit ugly at the moment. It's I just don't like the pattern that's kicking around here at the moment. So personally, I tend to let's just click on here. There we go. Stand clear of these things. What would make me want to be trading it? Nothing here at the moment. It's just ugly. The pound. So the pound, well, it's yeah, pretty much the same in terms of its picture here. It did look around the earlier point there yesterday like it was going somewhere, started pushing off, but it started from an ugly picture in the first place. Continuation back off the pivot would have been more attractive yesterday than what we actually saw there. Nothing happened in that way, so not looking good at the moment either. The dollar, the yen, this is where there's more opportunity, I think, in terms of going forward. Still sort of unwinding this terribly weak picture for the yen, and you can see yesterday it held up pretty well effectively against the dollar. This one actually sold. This is the Australian dollar. We saw strength come into the Australian dollar yesterday. Very choppy for a while yesterday. Let's just look at yesterday itself. There you go. Just what we'd expect from non-farm payrolls. It did weaken. the yen against the dollar here, but it's back to looking okay. There'll be some divergences, no doubt, running across these lows. Let's just have a quick double click there. They're not too obvious on this RSI actually. Well, there was the initial one between here and here, but it's not triggered there, and it's gone lower, so that's wiped out. Okay, so we'll see how this follows through, but there's a potential on this for a continuation to the downside here, maybe down towards the S2. The divergence suggests, well, the potential weakening of the move, softening of the move would make sense. It's been going for a few days. Australian dollar. So the Australian dollar continuing to push up. It's one of the strongest out there, if not the strongest out there. Continue to push. Bit of consolidating where it is at the moment. Yeah, maybe if we get a continuation this morning, it could be good for its R1. For a continuation. Yesterday it got really choppy, but no surprise with non-farm payrolls coming out there on the key news, saying that it's been pretty choppy. It needs something more to drive it, maybe. And well, let's wait to see that. US dollar CAD, I exited this early yesterday because I saw some price action going on, and I was going out, and I just thought I'd take the profit. It did turn around. It's looking a little bit, well, it might come back for the downside, but it just started moving quite early, around about 11 o'clock. We saw the price action, yeah, 11 o'clock. There we go. Saw it started coming out. So sometimes when you're in a profit before non-farm payrolls, well, I took the profit. Well, it just continued to the upside here, and it's looked a bit ugly. Whether it'd be more, well, it'd be more attractive on the short side if it was to break down below the pivot there, but there's no real, it's an ugly picture again. So I'm not even looking at the next market. Let's just have a look at this. Alright, if we can get the Euro Aussie, just look at a couple of cross pairs here, and this is where the safety is on the short side, really, is this Euro Aussie. It's still pushing down. You've just got to get the opportunity to get into it. As I said yesterday, I mean, it's quite a nice move in the end. It ran on the news period there. It was just the Aussie was less weak than the Euro, and at that point, and they showed you how weak the Euro was. Got a move there. A move off the pivot today might be interesting. Short off the pivot, around the pivot area, not as it hits the pivot, but when it puts a little reversal in. See if we can get a run down. The S1, beg your pardon, is down here. So this may be of interest. That's the Euro Australian dollar. So it's one to watch out for this morning. Let's just see what it does. If it runs off through the pivot, I'll ignore it. Well, it could come back to the 34.50. The 34 is on the pivot, so the 50 may be. Right, other markets then, just looking at what's going on. If I scroll down there, that's it. Right, so we'll look at silver as I've been looking at it. It's down 1% this morning. Just going to look at it on the short term here, but you can see at the moment silver and gold's doing the same. Neither of these are really going anywhere. These are a bit untradeable for me at the moment with the actual action that's happened and everything else. I don't like these, so I won't be looking to trade them. What else? People were trading platinum. Just look at the price action of this as well. It's sort of given breakouts, given higher lows, taking a breakout, but not really managing to do too much about it. And this is where you look at breakouts and play them as you know, they should be played in effect, when particularly when they're like this and it's a choppy market, is let the breakout happen, wait for the retrace. If the retrace goes on through, just step aside. If it reacts back off the previous high there and starts pushing back up, that's the safer way to play it, as opposed to a flag type retracement and break. Anyway, so chopping along here on this market as well, so it's just best avoided whilst they're ugly like this. Oil, get it in the right order today. Still a bit of a mess, trying its best to edge its way a little, but all in all, I mean, it did push up there yesterday. It's still an ugly market to be trading for me. I'm not trying to even do anything with it. It's running at 11 o'clock. It's too early for me. I like the sort of afternoon session to be trading this, so not of any interest to me there. Right, moving on to the equity markets, where we have seen a bit of action. Bit of ugly action, I should add. So yesterday, when you look at the overall price action for yesterday on a daily, not very much movement there at all. But the detail, well, it spikes both ways here, and it's just, again, something I don't want to be trying to. I mean, the previous day wasn't particularly good. The day before that, it did take a bit of a mover in the afternoon there. If you'd taken a trade on that day, kept a stop down there, you'd probably still be in it just about, depending on your broker. But it's looking iffy where it sits. The longer it sits, or the way it's sitting around here, is not particularly good. My preference, well, it's not that far away from the high. I prefer the consolidation around a previous high as opposed to when it pulls back. It's just less reliable, but this isn't too bad. Has scope to push up there. Anyway, FTSE then, the dream team. Money's still running into this. I was reading this morning about the money running towards Asia, coming out of the dollar and running towards Asia, and in particularly companies that will benefit from all this spending on AI. As I said, I know it's quite late, but I think, was it earlier this week or late last week? I said maybe last week, about looking for companies that are going to benefit, and some of them may not necessarily be the most obvious headline companies, which probably have already got a lot of spending already happened. But if you're out there and you're looking for something as a company to invest in, look for those that are on the, maybe a bit more on the periphery, but still serving that sector. Anyway, they're doing well, and well, the FTSE's doing well as well. So anyway, coming back to the FTSE, not because of that, but necessarily, but the FTSE's pushed up again this morning, but it just carried on through. I mean, the non-farms, where were the non-farms on all of this? There we go. There's the non-farms. It never really affected it directly. It was beyond that when we saw the retrace yesterday. Money's still just going into the FTSE there. Best not avoid it. Best not short it at the moment. And the DAX, well, that did come off yesterday. It's moving at the moment. It's just right. I've got a 15-minute chart on. There's a little preview chart, and it's flying up in this first minute of the market open. Looking positive here from the 4-hourly picture. It's tapping on those prior lows. It's now looking like it might break those lows. Oh, what am I talking about? Highs, beg your pardon. Tapping on the highs, not lows. It's alright, I'm so used to shorting it, I want to short it. Okay, yep, breaking out there. Maybe let it happen a little bit, and there's a potential. It's already into its, I mean, it's moving quite quickly. Maybe go beyond its R2. These pivots are still all quite pinched because of the consolidation over the last couple of days. Okay, in fact, there's a nice target up there at some stage that might get hit. That quarterly pivot, there's monthly pivot up there as well. So some scope for a bit more of a break to the upside on the DAX there as well. At the moment, looking more positive. Right, that's pretty much it for me. So my favourite on the Forex side of things really is the yen and dollar yen on the short side, and possibly the Euro Aussie again on the short side if we hit run into the pivot and react to the pivot on the lower time frames. There on the hourlies, there we go, daily pivot, see what happens. Right, leave you there, have a great day, and I will catch you tomorrow. Bye for now.